Yeah, no, but yeah, it was. I think it's only potentially happened once, but it's not very common. But yeah, we'll definitely get you that answer. But look, let's go ahead and get into it. We know Week 11 is here, and there are a number of notable matchups. And I'm not holding up. So
Hasn't
no,
happened.
hey, it hasn't happened. So yeah,
Yeah.
it has not happened, Ben. So it would be interesting if it ended up doing that this year. We're into Week 11. We've got a number of matchups on the docket. Alex, I'm gonna give it to you. What we know the big name matchups, but what are some of the matchups that you're potentially looking for that might steal the show?
I mean, those two Pac-12 matchups right
Yes.
away.
Yeah.
USC, UCLA. Glad to see them back at the point where this game actually means something.
Yes.
And Utah, Oregon, I expect a heavyweight bout there. Very physical. Keep an eye on it, though, because Bo Nix may or may not be playing. I guess he got concussed at the end of last week's game, and nobody's really heard anything on if he's playing.
Oh, wow.
So if Bo Nix is not playing, I don't think Oregon has a shot.
Yeah.
But if Bo Nix is playing, they got a shot against almost anyone at this point. So keep an eye on that one. Oklahoma State, Oklahoma to me is a very interesting one because Oklahoma is still fighting for that bowl game. They're 5-5 right now. So their season's on the line in these next 2 weeks. So definitely keep an eye on that one. Ole Miss, Arkansas should be a lot of fun.
Yes.
They got the spread at 1.5 points there. Ooh. I kind of agree with that. It's going to be a very tight, very close game.
Oh, yeah.
What else we got here? I think Miami, Clemson, just the way Clemson's played so poorly against everyone, they played to the level of their competition. That could be a close one.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of people are sleeping on Miami because how their schedule has gone. They look, when you lose to Middle Tennessee State, you really can't come back from that type of loss. But let's remember, Miami's had a number of injuries on that team. This is the first year that Cristobal's got it. I get Van Dyke. We all expected him to be this Heisman hopeful at the beginning of the year, but he just hasn't had the guys around him consistently enough to be able to put, certain tests together. They played well against us. We beat them 27-24. But, I feel like they're a year out. Like they could turn around this next coming year. But it pains me to see how much they've struggled because I know I was on board. You were with me with Tyler Van Dyke, but even with Miami, we thought they definitely have a resurgence. But we'll see. Yeah, they'll get back.
Oh yeah, I think another thing is I don't think that Van Dyke necessarily fits the scheme that Josh Gaddis is trying to run there.
There you go. Yeah.
So I don't think it's a great fit. And that was something I thought right when they stole Gaddis from us was I didn't necessarily think the fit worked very well, and it's kind of rearing its head there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cristobal, first year recruiting at Miami, first year implementing his scheme and his culture that he's trying to build, they'll be fine. Give them a year or two, they'll be right up there with everyone else.
Yeah. Ben said the LSU win for FSU earlier in the year looks good now, but at the time LSU wasn't ranked. Our 3 losses were against ranked teams. We haven't beat a ranked team all year, so I don't see a New Year's 6 bowl game. But hey, late December bowl game isn't bad either for the season we had so far. Yeah.
Now, what I will say is with the CFP rankings, they're looking at they don't look at it as okay, LSU wasn't ranked when you beat them. They're looking at it as you beat LSU, who we have ranked 7th.
Yep.
Or 6th, sorry. So they look at it as, yeah, they might not have been ranked then, but this is still a very good team that you beat. So that works in your favor. I think, like I said, I think Clemson has to lose twice, and FSU's got to steal that at-large bid with UNC possibly making the playoff. But, yeah, New Year's 6 bowl looks a little iffy.
Yeah, you need a lot of craziness to happen. But hey, it's still possible. It's
college football. Anything can happen.
There you go. Speaking of which, Navy is up 7-0 on Central Florida right now. So anything can happen. You talk about somebody put a bomb in the middle of the whole thing and just everything blowing up. I mean, we shall see. Yo, so yeah, right along those lines, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma Bedlam. You already know I've been kind of sneaking that word in all day. You know what I mean? So that's always a good matchup, and definitely this year with Oklahoma State being number 11 and Oklahoma unranked. So that will be interesting. For me, one of the biggest games that I'm very interested in watching is Auburn versus Western Kentucky. Now, I know a lot of people are saying that these teams are kind of terrible, blah, blah, blah. Auburn, we know Harsin was fired 2 weeks ago. They brought in Cadillac Williams. Cadillac Williams came in after just not even a full week, was able to beat a struggling Texas A&M and Jimbo Fisher. But he got those guys bought in. Auburn was bought in. That crowd, it was electric that night. And one of the things that I absolutely loved is that what's Cadillac? Cadillac was a running back. Him and Ronnie Brown were that two-headed monster. He brought that back. He had Tank Bigsby for over 100 yards, Jaquez Hunter over 100 yards on the ground, over 200 total yards rushing the ball. That's what Cadillac does. That's what he did. And obviously that's what he's putting time into. So, hey, watch out for them because they could be a new team. I don't know if they'll keep Cadillac going into next year, but I hope they do. They are playing against Western Kentucky. And ladies and gentlemen, any of you NFL people know Western Kentucky is most famous recently, at least, for their ex-quarterback Bailey Zappi, who now is in New England playing in a pseudo quarterback controversy with Mac Jones.
I think it should be, but it won't be.
Yeah, right. So, and we all remember him from a year ago, almost 6,000 passing yards and 62 passing touchdowns. Just absolutely playing out of his mind a year ago. He has the talent. And a lot of what the questions were in Western Kentucky is who's going to fill in his role? Who's going to be the next guy to come in? We have a guy, Arthur Reed, out of West Florida. He actually took West Florida to the Division II National Championship the year before. He's a 3-year starter for them. His numbers aren't nearly as good as Bailey's, but still over 3,500 yards, 31 TDs, and 7 interceptions. It's still a quality year. I honestly think this is going to be, the running game of Tank Bigsby and Jaquez Hunter and Auburn versus a high-powered passing attack in Western Kentucky. So we'll see what happens in this one. I'm eager to see kind of two different. At the beginning of the year, I definitely had both these teams in different spots, but to see where they are now, I want to see what happens, how they're able to bring it together. And obviously, not to look ahead, but our final regular season matchup, North Carolina, I'm saying, is with one of our rivals, NC State, who plays Louisville today. Now, this game for me is all dependent on if Malik Cunningham plays. Right now, he's slated to play, the quarterback for Louisville. He has a shoulder injury, so they right now they're saying he's going to play, but we'll see how much that affects him. Louisville, we've seen they went toe-to-toe with Florida State. We've seen they've gone toe-to-toe Central Florida. They've gone toe-to-toe with a number of teams. So you have them playing number 24th ranked NC State, yes, without Devin Leary. However, they still have a quality team around him. So I'm very eager to see kind of how this one plays out. I think it could be one of these ACC shootouts if Malik Cunningham plays. So we'll definitely see what happens with that one. Is there any other games you got that you're looking at along with the other ones? We know about Georgia, Kentucky. You know what I mean? Some of these are blowouts like Alabama, Austin P, and things like that. But we know there are some games out there that are pretty solid. And you guys
keep an eye on TCU Baylor.
Ooh, yes.
TCU's going on the road again.
I know you and I were talking about it last week about how Texas was supposed to be the one. And I was right there with you, and I don't know what happened to Texas. Maybe TCU's that good, but Baylor's another.
It might be, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, Baylor was the team that kept Oklahoma State out of that Final Four a year ago, beating them at the last play of the game. Is Baylor for real? Can we?
Are they for real? No, not this year. But I think TCU coming to them to play is a very tough thing for TCU to do, and we'll see what happens here, but they've only got TCU favored by 2.5, so not even a full field goal.
Right.
So I don't know what to think about this game, to be honest with you. It's going to go either TCU blowout or I think Baylor steals a close one. I think that's the only ways it goes.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, Anthony talked about it. There are certain teams that they come in and they like to play spoiler. Oklahoma State did it for several years. Kansas did it last year. This is one of those games that Baylor could potentially come in and just say, hey, we're shocking everybody. And then just like that, TCU, all the cards fall. So we'll see what happens in that one. What about you? Your game, Michigan, Illinois. I know Illinois is not ranked, but
it's still a very good football team. We better not overlook them.
Yeah.
They've got one of the best running backs in the nation in Corbin Brown. He's got 280 carries for 1,442 yards, 7 touchdowns. Other than the touchdowns, it looks very extremely similar to Corum. Corum's got 227 for 1,349 yards. He's just got 17 touchdowns. So quite a difference there. But another thing people are overlooking is Illinois' got a top 5 defense right now, statistically.
Yes.
Very, very good defense. Now they have the spread at 17 points. I expect it to kind of be around there.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be the typical Michigan game. Boring to watch for 2.5 quarters. We're going to just bludgeon them with the run game. And late third, early fourth is where we'll start to pull away.
Oh, yeah. Now, no pressure. But we did beat them.
Yep. Yes, you did. And that's why I think we'll do the same.
Yo, let's go.
Stequavius
behind it. Let's go.
I love that.
Let's go. Hey, and you led right into it. Yo, there's a lot of games. Hopefully you guys definitely tune into them. There's games going on now. Our friend, Mr. Jason Swade, talking about watching that Navy game. We appreciate you, V. Please no spoiler. Wow, yes.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.